sister doesn't want you playing with me.
Big sisters are among the most imposing creatures that Subject Delta will encounter during the events of the game BioShock 2. Former little sisters who've aged out of their ability to effectively produce Adam, these powerful brutes would have their bodies and minds warped by constant exposure to the dangerous substance. The once docile children becoming almost feral as they age into pubescence and their mental conditioning begins to crack. A man named Gilbert Alexander seeing potential in their violent tendencies, as Adam remained in constant demand.
The little sisters are getting older, which is troubling. As they reach adolescence, they become aggressive, feral. Worse, the Adam they ingest contains traces of lethal plasmids left over from the war. The splicers are becoming far more effective predators as well. Our big daddies are falling left and right. Perhaps the elder sisters could be trained to sniff out the lost Adam and reclaim it for us. Yes, from what I've seen, they certainly wouldn't have to wait for the culprit to die.
The story of the Big Sisters as we know it begins with a woman named Bridget Tenenbaum and her discovery of a miracle substance that she would dub Adam. The key to boundless genetic opportunities, Adam would take the city of Rapture by storm. Plasmids, gene tonics, personal modification. This amazing liquid could do it all, but there was a problem. The slugs from which Adam was derived secreted only minuscule amounts of the substance, and the demand was well beyond the supply. As such, research into how to expand this supply would become immediately necessary, a need that would result in the creation of the Little Sisters program. It was found that young girls were able to exponentially increase the output of Adam if one of the sea slugs were embedded in their stomach lining. A disturbing prospect, but one that would be embraced, as morals were traded for scientific curiosity and the love of profit. Dozens of these hollow-eyed children would be created, yet even as they elevated their production, so too would Rapture increase its dependence. Need becoming so imperative that not only would these children produce the substance independently, but they would also be sent out into the streets to retrieve it from the bodies of the dead. A man named Yi Su-chong creating both the means of siphoning off this excess Adam, as well as a way to mentally condition the girls not to fear the rapidly degrading society of the city. For years, Little Sisters would roam the streets of Rapture in tandem with their hulking protectors, the Big Daddies, as they scavenged corpses to gather Adam from whoever was pulling their strings at the time. Some of these children would be lucky enough to get rescued by their repentant original creator Bridget Tenenbaum, but many would never escape the cycle, draining Adam from the dead, under constant threat of splicers who would stop at nothing to relieve them of their findings.
All over now. No! I won't hurt ya!
For years, these unfortunate children would be stuck in this suffocating life. Adam constantly surging through their bodies as their minds fought back against the conditioning stamped by Dr. Su-chong. Until eventually, when their bodies began to be struck by the biological imperative of adolescence, something inside them would snap. Childish adherence to authority shifting to aggressive violence. An agitation that a man named Gilbert Alexander sought to use for the benefit of his leader, Sophia Lamb. Having taken over for Su-chong following his death, Gil had inherited the study of Big Daddies and Little Sisters, which was in drastic need of restructuring. The splicers that now roamed the city post-Civil War were much more effective predators that were beginning to overpower the once infallible daddies. Gil seeing a potential solution with the feral adolescents, as their exposure to Adam over the course of their lives had given them remarkable strength and enhanced plasmid powers. Taking a page from his predecessor, he would begin his own series of mental conditioning experiments on these aging children. outfitting them with modified diving suits very similar to their ironclad brethren, and sending them out with the strength of a big daddy, but the collection capabilities of a little sister. However, while this effort would prove very effective for gathering, the Big Sister's inability to produce was becoming a major point of concern.
We put our eldest sister through a new regimen of physical and mental conditioning and suited her up with modified protector equipment of my design. The younger ones have dubbed her a big sister. Sadly, this is a stopgap. Between rogue splicers and the aging of the girls, we'll run out of viable little sisters soon. After that, the surface may be our only source.
After the Civil War, young girls had become an all but extinct demographic in the crumbling city of Rapture. All that remained seeming to be the population of little sisters, who were rapidly approaching puberty where they would no longer be able to produce the miracle atom. As such, the radical idea would be floated to begin abducting children from the surface and dragging them below the waves. Gil offering up the Big Sisters as the perfect soldiers for this detestable mission. A job they would be well suited for, as Lamb and Alexander would grease the gears of Rapture once again with the lives of unknowing young girls. Big Sisters are among the most dangerous and sympathetic beings that still roam the halls of this underwater ruin. Former little sisters who've broken out of their docile stupor, only for them to be subjected to yet more mind-altering control. Gilbert Alexander and Sophia Lamb seeing these children as a means to an end, a necessity in the production of Adam, expendable for the greater good they hope to achieve. Slaves to the compulsions of Rapture, recycled into dangerous beasts when they'd outlived their former usefulness.